Hi, it's me, Blake. I'm out on another Around the Block with Blake, and today I'm going to meet one of my favorite agents, another favorite agent. Let's see if I can find Mr. John Dunham. There you are, John. Hey.
Blake, how are you?
It's so good to see you, John.
Good to see you. Welcome to Midtown up here in Crestview. Good to see you in our neck of the woods.
Well, I try to make it over here every now and then from, the west. I'm out west, way out west.
So this is the city life in here.
It is a city life, so I'm living the country life, I like to say. So when I come here, I feel like it's a whole new world for me. So
Yeah.
I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
So John, I'm here today to find out more about you as a person. And what I want to know, first off, is you're a realtor now.
Yes.
You've been a realtor for what I know, 20 plus years. Tell me your path into real estate.
So we moved here in 81, and shortly after that, my dad got into real estate in the 80s.
There's always a dad involved, yeah.
There's always a dad, always a parent involved. We ate a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the 80s.
Okay.
And then my parents separated. My mom got into real estate. She met her husband who was in real estate.
Right.
My brother-in-law got into real estate. My sister's now in real estate. So it is a family affair.
Holy cow, wow.
Yeah. I tried to avoid it when I first got out of school. I came back to Austin, worked at Dell, did high tech for a little bit. And
So you did the foray into tech.
I did.
Everyone else here in Austin.
Yeah. I started at Dell, and then I went to some startups and thought I would IPO and be living on Lake Austin and be retired by 30, and that didn't happen.
That's a common dream.
Yeah.
The dream.
So, I got into real estate probably at one of the worst times, and I bought my first house in probably one of the first times in 2001, 2002. Bought my first home in Midtown in Crestview.
Right.
Had then got into real estate a year later, and I had a couple of different paths that I could have gone. I went with a larger local brokerage, was there for a couple of years, and then I met Jason and Sam, who are co-founders and business partners at Juice.
Yeah, let's talk about, I'm sorry to sidetrack a little bit.
Yeah.
You have this group, Juice.
Yes.
And you have two partners.
Yes.
And that group is now under Compass.
Yes.
Tell us about, that path from having a brokerage to joining Compass.
Yeah. So we came together in 2010. In 2019, we finished our building on Koenig Lane. And, we all were doing business kind of the same way. We're mainly referral based. And that's how we came together. We were a small group, and then Compass came into town.
Right.
And we really kind of avoided it for a little while, and then we said, well, let's go talk to them. And then we got to meet Robert.
He's a force to be reckoned with.
He's a force to be reckoned with,
Right.
Just a great guy, has great vision. They pulled the curtain back, and we were like, wow, there's some great stuff here. And the most important thing is that we got to keep our brand, Juice,
Right.
and just layer that on top of Compass. And so it ultimately just seemed like a no-brainer.
Awesome.
For us to join.
You are one of our most successful teams. You have a team of 20 roughly. How large is your team right now?
We're at about 10.
10. Oh, I'm exaggerating. Sorry.
Yeah.
In my mind,
it seems like we're 20.
Well, you are also a force to be reckoned with. Everyone here in Austin knows Juice, and everyone seems to love you. When I bring your name up with almost anybody within Compass or other places, they know the name, they know the brand, and they only have amazing positive things to say. So you're doing great things.
Well, we also realize, we have our community that we want to have a good relationship with and a positive name recognition, but we also have our fellow brokers and agents.
Right.
And that was ever so present the last couple of years when things were crazy and you were in multiple offer situations. And that name recognition and that, them knowing that, hey, we're honest, we're ethical, there wasn't going to be drama.
Right. It gives you also the national exposure, which you don't get as a local brokerage.
Exactly. So, in fact, that was kind of
also a Compass plug, by the way.
Yeah. and that was kind of how I would always sign off offers for buyers in these highly competitive. We will be your low drama option. There's no need to have drama. We can all represent our clients and play nice in the sandbox.
Right. That's so true. Austin, what do you love about Austin? Well, I didn't ask the most important question. Are you a Texan? Are you from Austin? If not, how'd you get here?
So my dad owned a concrete business in the early 80s, and in 1981 we moved here. And we'll head this way.
Okay. From within Texas?
No, we were from the Midwest. I'm originally born in Iowa.
Okay.
I don't disclose that a lot. And I thought it was a horrible thing that we were doing moving here to Texas.
The most honest, most people with most integrity come out of the Midwest.
That's right.
So I think
That's right.
there's a Midwest vibe that always speaks honesty.
There is. So we moved here in 81. It was only about 200,000 people. We lived way up off of 183 in Anderson Mill Road. It was like living in Liberty Hill back then. And we just watched it slowly evolve and grow. And it's really been fascinating watching what it has become. When I bought my first home in this neighborhood, there was no new construction.
Right.
Now it's everywhere. So, you know, I'm an avid runner. I met my wife training for the Boston Marathon.
So you're a marathoner. I love that.
Yes. The knees are not saying so anymore, but
What's your best speed?
My best speed?
Yeah, in a marathon. What's your best?
I did the Chicago Marathon, had my PR there, and that got me to Boston, which is another story that I don't need to talk about because that was a terrible race, but it got me to the experience.
That's
It
great.
was amazing. Yeah.
Is that like a 3:15 kind of pace?
So it was a 3:10.
3:10.
I held pretty much right on the dot, 7:15s the whole way.
So those who don't run marathons, that's an amazing pace. Most marathon runners just want to finish their first marathon or finish a marathon, and that is a number that I can't even say. So congratulations. That really shows you are quite skilled.
Thank you. I love staying in shape. It's important to me. Working out on the regular is important. Kind of helps keep my mind clear. It's a great way to start the day.
Right.
So I was a swimmer all my life, and that's just kind of carried on as I've moved in, and try to instill that in our kids as well as being active and getting outside.
That's fantastic. I love the fact that you allow athletics and sports to kind of be your meditation. It sounds like it's your way to kind of keep things on the straight and narrow.
Yes, for sure.
Do you have a favorite restaurant in Austin?
Well, I mean, at first it's gonna start with chips and salsa for sure, and queso. So
I didn't know what queso was until I moved here 3 years ago, and they would say, "Do you want some queso?" And I'd say, "Do I?"
So
I do now. Yes.
Yeah, and I went to school out of state. My roommates were from Virginia and Michigan, and I made breakfast tacos the first semester, and they're like, what are you doing? You're putting egg and sausage and cheese in a tortilla and putting salsa on it? That doesn't make any sense.
That might be one of the best breakfasts there is, in my opinion.
I mean, I can frequently be found at Taco Deli after a run or a workout. So I don't know. If it's not finding a great Mexican restaurant, my wife and I love going to Clark's.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, there's the one thing that has really changed. There used to only be kind of a handful of restaurants, and now we're really kind of a foodie city.
It's amazing, right?
So there's whether you can get in somewhere, that is a whole nother story these days. But yeah, we love Clark's. We love Red Ash. There's just so many, and now we're starting to kind of get back out into having more date nights now that our kids are getting a little bit older, which is great as well.
Date nights are great.
Yeah.
Hey, John, I'm going to have us walk the other direction because we have someone cutting trees in front of us.
Okay.
So let's do a gentle turn.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There we go.
Thank you. Sorry about that. So, moving from restaurants back into real estate, what are your favorite neighborhoods to work and why? Where's your top three?
Yeah. So I would say folks know us a lot for Midtown.
Okay.
So that's Brentwood, Crestview, Allendale, Hyde Park. If you take it over to the other side, and that's where our office is. And it's where I bought my first house.
So where is that amazing office that has a big juice sign that you think is a juice bar?
Yes, and so we're right at Koenig Lane and basically Burnett Road. And we have had people walk in saying that they thought they were entering a juice bar, and so we have little gift cards to go to Juice Land down the street.
Very smart.
We learned our lesson pretty quickly. So I would say folks recognize us probably most in these areas.
Right.
You know, having grown up in Austin, though, and we kind of run the gamut. But you'll see us here, you'll see us Northwest Hills.
Well, you have a big team, so that really extends you through all of Austin.
Yeah.
But I know your sweet spot is here in the quote-unquote city.
And, you know, what I love about it is all of these homes are post-war, early 50s homes, and they've all got a lot of character and stories behind them. And, you know, early on, there were quite a few original owners that I was able to help. In fact, there was this guy in his 90s.
Right.
He bought his first home on a GI Bill.
30K or something like that?
Oh,
20K?
no. The homes in this area were like $8,000.
Oh my God, okay.
And he's telling me this, and he's like, you know, I just gotten back. I was recently married, bought it on a GI Bill, and my all-in monthly was like $35 a month. And that was a lot of money. And I was like,
$35. How he was going to pay $35 a month, right?
You know, and you've seen these homes evolve. I mean, a lot of them have had additions, weekend warrior editions.
Right.
They've had professional editions, and now recently we've really been seeing a lot of, they just take it down. Or one of the best scenarios that I like is when somebody comes in and they put I-beams underneath the home. They relocate it out to the country or somewhere.
Right.
So they don't just throw it in the trash.
Right.
But now we have these beautiful
repurposed, right?
Yeah. So now we have these beautiful homes that, you know, earlier this year they were selling for well over $2 million.
Well, so I know you're also a developer. How long have you been doing the developer side of things?
Well, I've been doing investing for a number of years.
Very smart.
So after I started getting my feet wet in real estate, started acquiring rental properties and doing some, you know, in fact, taking these little 50s bungalows, adding on to them.
Right.
We did just finish our first project. I'm not a builder, but we did partner with a great builder and developed our first lot here in Crestview. So I would say we have an appetite. We enjoy buying something that maybe not necessarily distressed, but needs some love.
Right.
We like going in and refreshing it.
And what is the aesthetic? I know you have a particular aesthetic. How would you describe the aesthetic you apply to these properties?
Well, that has evolved over the years. The one that we just finished on Rich Creek was more of like a modern Scandinavian. We tried to keep it pretty simple.
It's a lovely property.
Thank you. You know, we mixed up, instead of, you know, doing the classic painted cabinets, we did these rift cut flat front for a little bit more of a modern look.
More money too.
More money.
More of an investment from a development standpoint.
Yeah. Instead of doing concrete floors, we did wood floors. So, you know, but it's constantly evolving. You know, when I first got into the business, you couldn't sell a home that had gray walls.
Right.
And we've spent the last 10 years that you couldn't sell a home that had builder beige.
That's hilarious.
So
times do change, and they also come full circle. So wait for builder beige to come back.
I'm sure it's on the horizon somewhere. I'm not looking forward to that, at least right now. I'm not. So yeah, we go in and we figure out if we make our homes a little bit nicer, we're going to get more quality tenants.
Right.
And that's helping with our college funds.
The college fund also important for, the shake has started. 10 minutes in. Oh,
Sure.
John's taking over the carry.
I'm going to take over the reins.
Look at that.
Sir.
Hands
Look
are
at
free.
that.
Woo! Well, John, should you interview me now?
Well, tell me, you were doing real estate in California. What is your migration path to Austin?
Well, we were hit by COVID and other things and decided it was the opportunity to break away from the market we'd established in California. It was kind of dead. And Austin was the biggest blip on our map. And since moving here, we love it. Our quality of life has gone through the roof. Austin's amazing. And we can't see ourselves living anywhere else. So as a Californian, which I don't always admit because people don't like it, I love it here.
We haven't cut it off yet. We're still welcome. I think we're getting the best of the best.
Right.
From not just California, but from everywhere.
Absolutely, yeah. The city has really become an amazing city. All the growth and all the new buildings that are going in, it really is an amazing destination now. So, love Austin.
Yeah.
So,
you miss the beach?
Yes. So the one thing I miss is the beach. We lived very close. We lived in Manhattan Beach, very close to the beach, and do miss that. So back to you. Enough about me.
Yes.
Ask me more questions. No, enough about me. What do you love about real estate? What What really keeps you in the 21 years? What do you love?
Yeah. I like that no day, today is completely different than yesterday. And tomorrow is going to be completely different than today. So, I love
totally
that,
agree.
And I'm also constantly meeting new people. And, one of our goals with Juice was creating community, and really trying to bring, we cross paths with so many great people. Good people hang out with good people.
Right, absolutely.
And so, that was kind of behind our whole going referral based is, once we got a solid core group, well, all of those people hang out with good people. And then it's kind of been a focus the last few years of how can we bring all of these good people together. One of my clients relocated here from the Berkeley area, was reading my
Californian.
was reading my newsletter, and they got keyed in on Fortlandia down in South Austin at the Lady Bird Wildflower Center.
Wow.
He's like, this seems like a really cool thing. They applied. He has started a woodworking business, and they got in. They're like one of the only non-corporate applicants that made it in. And they
Sometimes when it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right?
It's meant to be. And he brought me in to be a part of it, and we made a really cool video. And it was, when my kids walked away, and they're like, that's the coolest exhibit we've played at Fortlandia. So that made me feel really good this year.
That's the reward, right?
Yeah, the reward of creating community.
So what do you see yourself doing as we kind of wind this down? These walks are generally 10 to 20 minutes. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? Still real estate? Do you love it that much, or will you branch into?
I think
Sorry,
that
we're crossing the street.
I think been doing it 21 years. I don't see myself doing anything different. I think we're getting back to, instead of the frenzy, having more of a normal market.
I agree.
Which will hopefully get back to more of a work-life balance. But I think that I'll continue helping people buy and sell. I'll help people continue looking for investments, probably do, some investments on our own here and there when it all makes sense. But we're not leaving Austin. We're not going anywhere.
Excellent. John, one of the things I love about you and your team, you guys are all doers. And I'm always referring back to the old Nike ad, just do it. Because that's all real estate is. It's people who either do it or don't do it. And you are doing it. And I love that about you and your team. So please keep doing it. Keep being the best at what you do. And love having you as part of the Compass family.
Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for always being there for us. And we love the team that we're on.
Thank you.
All righty.
I get to wave this time. What do you think?